I don't know about you, but I need some peace and quiet today. But I do want to move my body and I do want to feel my strength, develop some strength, connect with some inner strength and focus. Just want to be calm, strong and exercised without going nuts, without going crazy. So today I will be taking us through some postures and some exercises, as in some dynamic repetitive exercises, but I'm going to try and not talk too much so that we can all find our own peace without me jabbering on, but I hopefully will be giving enough instruction. You don't need anything other than a space to practice in, something to tie your barnet up with if you've got some sort of overgrown barnet like I have, and you don't need any props. You might want to use the wall or a chair for some balance, but otherwise let's start by standing. So I've got my feet hip distance apart. I'm going to come up onto my tiptoes and then back onto my heels. Whoops. And I'm going to do that again. Just back and forth, waking up the feet, getting into the habit of balancing, waking up the muscles in my legs, spreading out my toes. In fact, let's do that. Let's lift up the toes, spread them out. Even though they're probably, if they're like mine, years of being scrunched into inappropriate shoes, they don't look too spread out, but let's just stretch. Imagine there's some space between the toes there. My knees are ever so slightly bent. And let's just stay here, even distribution of weight on the feet. Slight tuck of the tailbone, shoulders down, face relaxed. Invite that jaw to relax if you're clenching at the jaw, the brow, eyebrows. Just turn your attention to the connection between your feet and the earth. And just imagine all your weight going down into your feet and then down into the earth. So you're feeling light and agile and the weight is down in the earth. So just a few breaths here. Let's take our hands, put our hands on our belly and just watch our breath. I'm not going to change it. Close your eyes. Just observe as your breath comes in and as your breath leaves your body. At this point, not changing, just watching. And I'm just going to be quiet for a few moments while you do this, while you just watch your breath. And now just working a tiny bit with our breath. No forcing here, just gentle encouragement, bringing the breath down into the belly. So we'll do this by just observing and encouraging the belly to rise a little bit more like a balloon. You might even notice the fingertips opening and then closing in together again on the in-breath. Breathing in, belly like a balloon, out, all the breath out. Maybe encouraging the belly button to come a bit further back towards the spine. And encouraging the breath, the out breath, to be a little bit longer than the in breath. So breathing in just normally, but observing, encouraging the air to come down into the belly, imagining the lower back becoming nice and soft as well on that in-breath. Air coming right down. And then out breath, out it goes. Belly's deflating. Out breath a little bit longer. So you think you're at the end of the breath, see if you can be a little bit longer, a little bit more on that out breath. I'm going to be quiet again now, just allow you to do a couple of rounds of that breath, encouraging the air down, and then encouraging that slightly longer out breath. One more in breath, one more out breath. And then open your eyes, drop the hands down, shoulders down, body loose. And then bend the knees coming down to sit down on an imaginary chair. Make sure the knees don't knock together. So we're keeping that same line that we had whilst we were standing. We're just coming down into a seat, bringing the arms out in front, shoulders down, face relaxed. Just hold that here. If you're finding that difficult, you can come up a little bit. If you'd like a bit more of a challenge, come further down into a lower seat. Just holding that here. Breathing down into the belly. Waking up the legs. Keeping the back of the neck long. Drop the arms, slowly straighten the legs, reach up, breathing in, up onto tiptoes, reaching tall. And then breathing out, coming down again into your chair, but this time bringing the hands together at the heart. Gazing down and forwards, back of the neck long. Steady breaths. If you can, breathing in through the nose. And then we'll be twisting round to one side, gentle twist. Make sure those knees aren't knocking together. Next out breath, coming round to the other side. Just a gentle twist. Nothing too fancy. Next out breath, back to center. Legs feeling warm now. Come down a little bit lower, wherever you were, just come down a little bit lower. Drop the hands down, bring them behind you, straight shoulders down, just reach back behind you straight, engaging those triceps. Bring the arms forwards again, and backwards again. Breathing out, bringing them forwards, in, back. Out, forwards, in, back. Really draw those shoulder blades down, engage those triceps, arms straight, tight along the body. Out. And then as you breathe in, come up again, up onto tiptoes, reaching tall, 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 tall. And then breathing out, feet down, heels down I should say, arms down, roll the shoulders one way, then the other way. And just stretching out the back of the leg, taking one leg forwards, the other leg slight bend in the knee, And just flex the foot, shoulders down. And stretch that out ever so gently, or ever so slightly. Come down a little bit more. And then swap. So you're sticking out your hips here, sticking out your bum. And then feet together. Feet back together, but they're a hip distance apart. Shoulders down, gazing forwards. Hands on hips, hips facing forwards. Take your right foot straight behind you. Gazing forwards still. Lift it up, but you're not really leaning forwards. You're just working with the glute, keeping the leg straight to lift up the leg. Maybe a little bit higher. Focus on something to help keep you steady. Shoulders are down. Keeping that leg really straight. Lift a little higher and you will feel it in the glutes here. And then from here, little lifts up and down. You can use a wall to keep you steady if you're struggling with the balance here. Little glute lifts up and down. Steady breath. 10 more. And then put that foot down. Come to do that on the other side. So we're starting with our feet are a hip distance apart. And then our other leg is coming back straight. We're not leaning too far forwards here. And then we're just lifting, keeping the leg very straight, really feeling this in our glutes. Lifting up a bit higher perhaps, keeping the leg straight. Slight, ever so slight bend in the supporting knee, the supporting legs, that you're not locking. But your hips are facing forwards. Everything is parallel. We're not leaning, dipping. And then let's do those little glute lifts, keeping that leg straight. It's not coming up very high, so long as we feel it in our glute. Keeping our upper body steady. You can engage your core here as well. It's already working anyway to keep you steady. Ten more. And bring that foot down. And then breathing in, swooping the arms up. Slight back bend. Breathing out, reaching forwards, folding up the hip, bending the knees, bringing the hands down to the mat. Drop the head. Breathe in, straighten the legs. Breathe out, bend, hands back down to the mat. Really flop and fold into it. Next in breath, straighten those knees again. Straighten the legs, I should say. Breathing out, bending the knees. The next breath in, swooping up again. So knees are staying bent to begin with. Breathing in, coming to that slight back bend. Breathing out, hands together at the heart. Drop the shoulders. And then taking a wide stance, let's do some deep breaths. So we're going to bend our knees slightly, breathing in and out. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Keep the knees bent, shoulders down. Just staying here. Just a slight squat. Turn the hands, palm up. Put the thumb and the first finger together. Come down, lower, back straight, lifting up on the pelvic floor, engaging the core, face relaxed. Lower. Lower. Staying here. Steady, strong, even breaths. Jaw relaxed. Legs steady. Chest open. Next in-breath, slowly coming up. Bringing up the arms, star shape, stretching out the fingers. A few breaths here. Chest feeling really open. Air flowing in, energizing the body. Feet firmly rooted into the earth taking the weight of our body. Really stretch out. Make yourself as big as possible. And then we're going to come down again. Turn those palms up, thumb and finger together. Coming down. Upper body relaxed, shoulders relaxed, core steady and engaged. Legs strong, breath steady. Out breath longer than the in breath. Hold it here. Stay here, or bring your hands together at the heart, lift up the heels. Watch your breath. Focus on something to help keep you steady. Keep lifting those heels. And bring them down, reaching up. Making that star shape, full big breaths. In and out. In and out. In, really open the chest. Lift up the heart. And out. Bringing the arms down, coming into warrior two. Left foot turning in. Right foot pointing out, heel in line with the arch of the left foot. Shoulders are down, breathing in and out. And looking out over those fingertips. We're going to hold it here for a good few breaths. You can come lower if that's comfortable for you. Pull up on that back kneecap. Slight tuck of the chin, neck long. Even distribution of weight on the feet. And we're going to hold it here. Drop the arms down, lift up that leading heel and just come down again, a little bit lower, keeping that back leg straight. Arms out long again and just hold it here. Bring the heel down And breathe in, straighten that leg, reaching over for a stretch. Back to center, let's take a breath, breathing in and out, and in and out, and in and out. Do that on the other side. Foot slightly in, other foot long with the heel in line with the arch. Taking a breath in, shoulders down, coming as low as you want to. So you might want to shuffle the feet to make them wider so you can get right down. And then looking out over those leading fingertips. Few steady, full breaths here. Lifting up on the pelvic floor. All the while keeping the face relaxed and letting the earth take your weight. Arms down, and we're coming up onto the toes, lifting the heel, coming back into the posture, holding it here. Keeping that back leg straight, lifting up on that kneecap. Face relaxed, jaw relaxed, teeth unclenched. And then drawing that foot down, straightening, coming into that stretch. Shoulder down. And then coming back to center, walking those feet, or shuffling them back so they're hip distance apart. Rolling the shoulders one way and the other way. And again, one way and the other way. And then taking right foot over left, right arm over left, or the other way if you're mirroring me, or not mirroring me, I should say. Coming into eagle. This is a gentle eagle. I'm not wrapping my foot all the way around. And you might be that your arms are just like this, and that's fine. Just holding it here. Not balancing at this point. Few breaths. And then on your next in-breath, unravel the arms, widen the legs, stepping out, coming down, knees bending, fingers spread out. Few breaths here, full breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then crossing the other leg, other arm. Not balancing, keeping that foot down on the floor. Few breaths here. And then in breath, opening out wide. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. This time we'll fold into the full eagle if you want to. So drawing the foot all the way around, wrapping it round, and we're coming into a balance now. Find a point of focus. Keep the foot down on the mat if you prefer. In breath, wide. Out breath, down. In breath, coming back. Other side. In breath, wide. Out breath. In breath. In breath, wide. Out breath. In breath. Keep going. Next in breath. Out breath. 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 In breath. Hold it here. Confuse myself. Hold it here. In breath, out breath, and then in breath, straightening the legs. Hands together, out breath, coming all the way down. A few breaths here. Breathing down into the belly. And then bringing your bottom down, turning onto the side, sitting up tall, and then rolling down vertebra by vertebra onto your back, drawing the knees in, and then putting your arms down along the side of the body, straighten the legs, flex the feet, hold it here, few breaths. Keep pushing with the feet. Draw up on the pelvic floor, engage the core. Bring the left foot down. Take your hands, put them down around the back of the right leg, and then draw the leg closer towards you. Really feeling a stretch along the whole back of along the leg. Keep encouraging the leg to come closer towards you. And then swap, other legs coming up, other foot down. And again, keep pushing, keep flexing, and encouraging that straight leg to come closer towards you. And then bringing the foot down, legs long. If you have any lower back trouble, do single leg lifts here. Otherwise, we're going to be doing double leg raises. And on the in-breath, we lift. Not all the way up here, just to here. Out-breath, we come down, but not all the way down. In-breath, up we go. Any back trouble, single leg. So breathe in, lifting one leg. Breathing out, bringing it down. Breathing in and out. Otherwise, double leg, up we go. In, out, not all the way down. In, not all the way up. keep going with your own breath. Keep going. Nice and steady. And then drawing the knees in, hug, rock side to side. And then bringing the feet down. Bring the feet together, knees together, legs going over to the left, knees going over to the left. Left hand on top of right thigh, looking out over the fingertips of your right arm, right fingers. Keeping that right shoulder blade down into the earth. Few breaths here. Next out breath, bringing the knees up, over to the other side. Swap hands, move head. Hold it here. Remember to keep encouraging that left shoulder blade now down into the earth. Next out breath, lifting up those knees, coming back to the center. Draw the knees in for a hug. Lift the head up. And then we're going to roll up, so keeping that head up, we're going to roll up slowly with control, and you can lift up your legs, keeping them bent, or you can straighten them here. Shoulders are down, core engaged, holding it steady. Try not to lean back. Lengthen the spine. If you want to as well, you can straighten the arms, let go of the legs, holding it steady here. And then bring the feet down, hug, drop the head, hug, hug, hug. And then straightening up, feet are hip distance apart, sitting tall, arms coming out in front. Sitting up tall, straight, long arms, fingers spread out, just really feeling your height, your length. And again, that feeling of being connected to the earth. And as we breathe out, we're going to tuck the tailbone, bringing that right arm out. Looking towards the right. Breathing in, coming up, breathing out, other side. Breathing in, coming up, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, opening, in, out, opening, in, coming back up. Now you can keep with this, or you can bring your knees up, and then when we breathe in, we open by lifting both our feet, straightening our feet, our legs, and opening our arms, and then breathing out, coming back to the start position, then breathing in, other side. Out, in, out, in, out, in, out, steady, out, in. Any pain in the lower back, keep the feet down with the single arm, opening and closing, One more on each side. And then we'll hug again, really hugging, dropping the head. And then from here, let's draw the feet together, knees out wide. Coming into tailor or cobbler or butterfly, whatever you like to call it. Drawing those knees down, shoulders down, leaning forward. I'm holding onto my toes. Let's stay here for a few quiet moments. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Keep encouraging those knees down. And allow the belly to inflate on the in-breath. And then just come into an easy seat. So you've got one foot in front of the other as like a cross-legged position. And then just allow the body to fold forwards and down, drawing those, reaching those arms out in front. Allow the head to flop down. Few breaths here, again, letting the belly really inflate with the in-breath. Then notice, encourage that out-breath to be longer. Next out breath, roll up. Swap the feet around. So the other foot is on the inside, and then come down again. Just allow yourself to fold and flop into the earth. Close your eyes, allow the belly to loosen and inflate with the in-breath. Next out breath, rolling up, vertebra by vertebra, and then coming onto hands and knees, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Let's come into cat on your next out breath. So we're dropping the head, tucking the tailbone, lifting the spine. In breath, unravel into cow. Going the other way, lifting the tailbone slightly, gazing forwards. Out breath, back into cat. Really drawing the belly button towards the spine. In breath, coming into cow. And then out breath back to a neutral position. And then curling your toes under, lifting the hips, coming into downward dog. You might want to adjust your hands, walk your feet. In fact, let's walk our feet, stretching out the back of the legs there. And then lift up both heels and then draw them down. Looking at the knees, feeling that length in the spine, feel like your hips are being pulled up to the sky. Space between the shoulders, face relaxed. Don't worry if your heels aren't touching the mat. Just hold it here. Few breaths. Keep encouraging the length in the spine. Keep working with the idea of the hips being pulled up to the sky. And then bend the knees, bring them down, come into child's pose. Forehead to mat, full breaths down into the belly, easing any tension, lower back, mid back, upper back. Next out breath, rolling up vertebra by vertebra. Bringing the fingers together, coming into the Pilates push-up. So fingers together and pointing forwards, coming up onto the knees. You can keep your feet down if that's more comfortable for you. And then we're dipping down. We're not letting our elbows go out, they're coming down and back. And just little movements up and down here. Work with the core as well. So drawing that belly button back, lifting up on the pelvic floor. Keep going in your own time. Keeping those movements quite small though. And then let's hold it down together. And then push back into child's pose, keeping the arms long this time. Full long breaths. And then coming to lie on your belly. Hands alongside of the armpits, elbows tight against the body. Looking down towards the mat. Feet together. And on your next in-breath, lifting the chest. Not coming up too high. We want to be able to lift our hands off the floor. Holding it here. See if you can encourage yourself to come up a little bit higher on the out breath. Again, just testing that you can lift the hands off the floor. Next out breath, come down, make a pillow with the hands, toes together, relax. And then coming back to that start position and looking down towards the mat, hands side the armpits, elbows tight against the body. And then in-breath coming up, but this time we are putting weight onto our hands. We're coming up into the full cobra. Gradually coming up, keep those elbows tight against the body, shoulders are down. Looking up, drawing the head back if that's comfortable for you. Next out breath, coming down slowly with control, making another pillow the other side, rest the head, toes together, a few breaths here. Next out breath, pushing yourself up to sitting. We're going to be sitting tall again. Going to stretch out our left leg, right leg's bent. Sitting up really tall. Taking the left arm, left hand goes on the right knee and coming into a slight twist just to begin with. Draw the belly button back towards the spine. Keeping that shoulder down. And then on the next out breath, just twist round a little bit more. Keeping that length in the spine. Got a slight flex of my foot there. My left leg, left foot. And then if you want to, you can bring that elbow round, hand up, come round even deeper into the twist. Next out breath, gently unravel. And let's do that on the other side. So swapping the feet out, sitting up nice and tall, shoulders are down, lengthen the spine. And then just gradually working our way around with the out breath. So coming around a little more with every out breath. And then you might want to bring that right elbow to the other side of the left knee and come into the full twist. Steady, long breaths. Next out breath, unravel, drawing that knee up, hands behind you, fingers facing forwards, lift the hips, coming into a tabletop position, looking forwards, just holding it here. Engage the core, face relaxed. Then if you want to come into a balance, if you can keep nice and steady, hips even, parallel with the mat, stretch out one leg. Bring that foot down, stretch out the other. Remember, you're keeping the body steady and parallel with the mat, the floor. Bring that foot down and then bring the hips down. And come into another hug, drop the head. Shoulders are dropped. And then coming into another low squat. Hands together in prayer. And then on the in-breath, we're going to come up to standing. So breathing in and out. And in. Coming down again, out. In. Out. In, out, in, out, in, out. Just working to wherever you can. So that might mean you're doing this. And that's fine. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, stay up, out. And then bringing the feet together, going to come into a balance. We'll come into tree, so bringing all your weight onto the left foot, just lifting up the right, just connecting with that idea of balancing. And then finding a point to focus to help keep you steady, bringing the foot to the side of the other leg, coming up to wherever you feel comfortable. Feel a bit of a challenge, might be all the way up. Pressing that foot against the side of that leg, the knees coming out, hips facing forwards, pelvic floor up, core engaged, breathing in. You might want to bring your hands up or you can have them down, whatever feels good. Shoulders down, face relaxed. Let's hold it here for a few breaths. And then staying with the balance, feel free to use the wall if you want to. Then we're going to be taking hold of the ankle, coming forwards, lifting up, reaching the hand out in front. I've got my thumb and forefinger together. Hop round. So lifting, gazing forwards. And then coming down with control. Maybe shake out the legs a little. And we'll come to do that on the other side, coming from tree into dancer. So coming on to the right foot, balance, engaging with the idea of balance, and then bringing the foot up to wherever you feel comfortable today. So you feel a bit of a challenge. Fine to use the wall here. Find your point of focus, and then coming into whichever version of tree that you want to. And we'll hold it here together for a few breaths. And then coming into dancer, so taking hold of the ankle, folding down at the hips, reaching, thumb and forefinger together, lifting up that back foot, coming into a slight back bend here. Again, I hop around. And then coming out of the posture steadily, she says. Feet together, breathing in. Hands together, look up to the hands, close your eyes, reach up, up, up with every cell of your body. And then breathing out, flop. Shake out the body. And then getting a blanket or whatever you need to feel comfortable lying down. I'm going to get a bolster. Give me a nice bit of bolster under your knees. She says inelegantly, coming into her favourite relaxation position. I've got my feet wider than my hips, and I've got my hands facing up, my palms up, sorry. Lots of space under the armpits. Eyes closed. Few moments to allow the body and the mind to settle. Just noticing any kinks, tension, jitteriness in the body. Just maybe let them shake out. Encourage or invite any tension to ease away. Don't get cross if it doesn't. Just allow your body to settle itself, do whatever it needs to do. The mind as well. Just give your mind permission to dart about, for thoughts to come and go. But you can just merely observe and allow these thoughts to come and go without getting involved in them, without judging them, without willing them to go. Just let them bob about. There they are, doesn't matter. And then without too much control, more of an invitation or an exploration, just really encourage your in-breath to come right down into the belly. Feel that belly inflate and then really deflate. Nice long out breath. Full in-breath into the belly. Out breath, full out breath. And as you make these nice, full, long out breaths, just allow yourself to sink even further down into the earth. Just invite your body to give itself its weight, its heaviness, down to the earth, to be held by the earth. You might want to notice those points at which your body is touching, is connecting with the earth. So probably your heels, the back of your heels, your shoulders, lower back, hips, back of the hands, back of the head. Just note those connections and encourage more of your weight, your heaviness to fall through, down through that connection, down into the earth. Just feeling completely held and connected to the earth. For a few moments, surrendering totally to being held. And you can stay here for as long as you wish or have time. And when you're ready, you can take a nice long stretch. Roll onto your side and push yourself up.